Hey guys, today I'm going to be going over the top 5 mistakes Amazon sellers make when they're trying to grow their business. Now, if you're already selling on Amazon, you probably already know how unforgiving the Amazon marketplace is if you do not know what you're doing. So by the end of this video, you should audit your own Amazon business and check to see that you're not making one of these 5 mistakes already, and if you are, you can go ahead and correct that right away so that way you can save the longevity of your business for the long term. Alright, let's get started now. Okay, so mistake number 1. The product selection process is not thorough enough. Alright, so if you haven't already, real quick, I did make a training on this, so you can go ahead and check out the thumbnail above so you can make sure you watch that training in full. I show you in a detailed format exactly how you can validate your product before you even buy any inventory. This will save you so much time and money, so check out that free video. So the reason why it's so important that you have to be absolutely thorough in your product selection process is because if you're not thorough enough, you're basically playing the lottery when you're trying to run a successful business on Amazon. And if you're trying to play the lottery on Amazon with increased competition, it's not going to end so well for you. So along with the product selection process, you also have to make sure you are having your end game goal in mind. So basically, you're not trying to source obscure products right away. What you're trying to do is actually build an asset, which means you will actually have a product that you can build variations off of or complementary products, because at the end of the day, where you're going to make a lot of your money on Amazon is not selling, a bunch of random products all over the place. You're going to make a lot of your money from the upsells on the frequently bought together item list, and as well when people actually go to your Amazon storefront, they'll be able to see that you're an industry leader for whatever niche you're in because you have products that are all related and complementary. When you're able to build trust in a buyer's eyes, this is absolutely crucial for the longevity of your business. So when a buyer goes to your storefront, they need to see that you are a strong power seller in that niche. That way, they'll be able to confidently recommend your products to their friends, family, or whoever, and that way they'll also continually buy from you again and again. So if you're trying to source some cheap products from China and just throwing them on Amazon and hoping they're going to sell, you're going to get squeezed out fast. So if you're trying to actually run a successful business on Amazon, you need to have your product selection down to a key, and you need to be absolutely certain that the niche you want to go into is an expandable niche where you can throw a variety of products that complement each other. Now, I'll be the first to tell you, the product selection process is the most time-consuming process, but if you stick with it and you don't give up on the product selection process and you don't pull the trigger prematurely on an obscure product, if you actually take the time to cultivate a winning product, in the long term you will win, because every other seller is just trying to make a fast buck on Amazon and they're just throwing obscure random products on there. Now, mistake number 2 is buying too much inventory up front. Now, I see a lot of sellers make this mistake. They see some numbers maybe off of Jungle Scout or Viral Launch, and it'll tell them they have potential to do about 3,000 sales a month. So when sellers see these numbers, they get super pumped and they start thinking they can also hit those numbers right away. So they'll contact a supplier, get something similar, and buy 3,000 to 5,000 units at a time. And that's a recipe for disaster, especially if you've never sold in that niche before. If you see those types of numbers, odds are the sellers have been selling on the marketplace for a very long time. They've probably gathered thousands of reviews or such to hit those numbers. So if you go into it right away thinking that you can match those numbers right out the gate, you're sadly mistaken, and that is also potentially going to set you up for a lot of setbacks financially. So if you don't have enough cash reserved and you put all your eggs in one basket too soon, it could hurt your business, as if when you try to expand into other products, you don't have any capital left to explore different options, right? You want to experiment as much as you can on Amazon. And so if you put all your eggs in one basket right away and you're trying to swing for the fence and buy 3,000 to 5,000 units of inventory, you don't leave yourself any cash reserves to experiment, test the niche out, and then see, okay, maybe I want to launch 3 to 5 products, and maybe one of these 3 to 5 products are going to be a winner, and you can then space out the amount of inventory you buy. So instead of buying inventory, let's say, 3 to 5,000 units at a time, you can possibly get 5 products and start with 500 units on each product. So if you can spread your risk across multiple products and only order, let's say, have a rule of thumb of only 500 units at a time, this will allow you to adequately test different niches based on your detailed search criteria, and it will increase your chances of success on Amazon as opposed to putting all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to do that right away. You want to start with keeping inventory units at about 500 or so. Now, I think one of the biggest reasons sellers do not succeed on Amazon is because they do not have enough products launched. So think about it this way. The more products you have at first, the better your chances are. You're spreading your risk all around. That way you can increase your chances of hitting a home run product right out the gate. Now, it's going to be a little bit hard to do that if you only have one product with thousands of units behind it. Even though you've done your homework, right? You've done the product selection process and you were thorough about it, you still want to spread out your risk as much as possible. So that means launching a few products at the same time. That way you can know right away how competitive a niche is, because though the numbers can tell you a lot, they don't tell you everything, and some things you just do not learn until you're actually selling on the Amazon platform. Now, I know for me personally, I launched 10 products when I first started a few years ago, and only 2 of the 10 products I launched were home runs. Now, granted, my product selection process could have been a lot better when I first started 3 years ago, but luckily I had spread out my risk. I had 10 products launched. I didn't buy a whole lot of inventory. I only bought about 300 units a piece, and luckily 2 of those were high ticket items, and it allowed me to expand on those 2, and then I copied that formula and was able to expand into that niche and dominate over the years. So that's how I started it. I did 10 products. If you're trying to do one, you may hit a home run, but the chances of you doing that right away, striking gold on your first hit, they're slim to none. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if you really want to succeed in the long term, you really want to spread the risk and launch at least 3 products at once, so that way you're able to test live which products are going to be winners for you and which ones may not be so hot right now. Hey everyone, sorry to interrupt, but if you like what you're seeing so far, now would be a good time to consider subscribing to my channel. That way you'll be the first to know when I get awesome new free content like this, and you won't ever miss a single upload. Now, mistake number 3 is not having sufficient funds for your Amazon business. So as you're expanding your business on Amazon, it's very important to realize that you're gonna need money to buy more inventory. Nothing hurts an Amazon business more than running out of stock and not having any money to buy more inventory. And the reason why it hurts you so much is because Amazon sees that if you don't have any inventory and it takes you about 2 weeks to a month to restock, it's gonna kill your rankings that you worked so hard to push your product to the #1 spot, and it's going to cost you a lot of money to try and bring it back up. So when you're first starting out on Amazon, it's very important to realize you're going to need to have capital reserves in line in order to have money to restock your inventory. Now, do you have to spend thousands of dollars on your pictures? Well, it depends what niche you're in, but you just need to really have at least 3 pictures well taken. You can even buy a studio, at-home studio from Amazon. Just go onto Amazon.com and type in photo studio mini or whatever, and you'll be able to take the pictures yourselves. Again, make sure that they look legit, and if you don't have time to order the at-home photo studio set, then okay, send them off, get the pictures done legitly, right, by a professional, and the cost will pay off immensely, because you'll have that picture that just sparkles and the picture that stands out, and it's going to make people want to click on your listings. So do not cheap out on your picture. Make sure it pops out. It's legitly done. By legit, I mean professionally done, and that way you'll stand out from your competition. Before you go and buy your Ferrari right out of the gate, please make sure you treat your Amazon business like such, a business. So it's going to take fiscal discipline. You're going to need to know your numbers, what your margins are. And if you're taking money out of your business too soon and you're buying new clothes or whatever, that's, again, another recipe for disaster. You need to have money to push back into your business, but you don't want to overextend yourself right away. So before you start taking money out of your Amazon business, it's best to have it sit in a reserve account, like your savings account. That way, you can account for all the costs you don't know you're going to have right now, like PPC costs, Facebook ads costs, giveaway costs, your refund rate costs, etc., etc. There are a lot of costs associated with Amazon that if you don't have sufficient cash reserves and you're spending the money you're making in sales right away, you're not going to know how much you're actually going to need to keep your head above water, and to really not only just keep your head above water, but to really exceed on Amazon. And to really succeed on Amazon, you do need to have money up front to push your product to page 1 on Amazon, and all that requires capital, right? So again, you want to have all this money to restock your inventory, and you want to have money for marketing left over. So if you can put off buying, that new car or new clothes off, the longer you can put that off, the more money you're going to have to put into your business. And you always have to think of it this way: what are your opportunity costs? For every dollar spent here, could it have been spent more wiser? Being reinvested, right? So if you put $1 in for marketing and you get back 1 sale, and let's say your margins are $25, well, you can think of the numbers that way. For every dollar you're spending, it can potentially cost you $25 that you're not even seeing, because that one extra dollar could have been that one extra click, and that one extra click could have gotten you that sale, which would have given you that $25 margin. So for every dollar you spend, you want to be conscious of your spending and what you're going to need to buy more inventory and for marketing in your Amazon business. So if you can, be as frugal as possible. Now, mistake number 5 is fairly simple, and it's often the most overlooked aspect of Amazon sellers trying to run a successful business. And that's planning your end game goal ahead of time. You can even take the words out of Jeff Bezos' mouth himself. He says, frugality drives innovation. All right, now mistake number 4, the most common mistake I see a lot of sellers make, is they do not have their photos professionally done. Now, that could be an incredible opportunity for you. If you see listings that are in the top 5 of whatever niche you're trying to target and their photos are poorly taken, that could be your competitive advantage, right? Along with your unique offer, having incredible photos. If you think about it this way, when you're looking at Amazon, do you go to the listing that looks like its photo was taken from its iPhone or whatever phone? Probably not. You want the pictures that are legit, right? Because a picture says 1,000 words, and if the title doesn't get them, for sure the picture is, right? So if you're skipping the process of getting your photos professionally done just to save on, let's say, costs or time, then again, that's going to hurt your business for the long term, right? You have to always think about this for the long term play. So again, if you're serious about really succeeding on the Amazon marketplace, you have to have these things in mind, because like I was just saying, Amazon actually gives special treatment. You actually do not get access to some of their advertising platforms like Amazon headline search ads and product display ads, which are probably my 2 most profitable ad placements, because I'm brand registered. And if you're not brand registered and you don't see these tools under Seller Central, that's because you don't have a brand presence on Amazon. So therefore, they're not going to give you these certain tools. So like I was saying earlier, if you can get all these components right and really strengthen your brand, as all the competition starts to flood in over the years, you're going to have a well-established presence, and it's going to be really hard for competitors to push you out of the Amazon marketplace and to steal your sales if you've already taken the time to have all these tools, work with Amazon, not against Amazon. Take the time to build out, an audience and laser target a specific niche, because that's truly going to be the future of Amazon. So if you can get these things right now when you're barely starting, then it's going to push everything else forward, and you're going to grow with your business and with all the new updates simultaneously. Amazon continually gets more and more competitive. Now more than ever, it's important for you to think of brand registry. So that means you should right now looking to start getting a registered trademark, because the fact of the matter is Amazon's going through a period called the consolidation, which basically means they're pushing out all the guys who are selling obscure products on their platform, and they're bringing up and giving special treatment really to the brand owners who took the time to get their trademark registered and to solidify an actual brand presence on Amazon. So if some of these things sound a little intimidating to you, if you're a beginner, I have an awesome treat for you. So just wait 1 second and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back guys. Real quickly, I just wanted to show you my online course. So if you still haven't started your Amazon journey, or if you are already on your Amazon journey and you need guidance, go ahead and take a look at my course. It's not like any other course you've ever seen though, because with my course, you actually get me as a mentor, and I'm only opening this up to the first 100 students that enroll. I had it closed down for a while because I was busy helping my other students, but now that I have it open up again, I'm only gonna take 100 students, people who are serious about taking action on their life, and if you're still working for corporate America, this will give you the opportunity to not only learn from a 6-figure Amazon seller, but to also have me as a personal mentor, so you'll never feel alone when you're starting your Amazon journey. And that way I can ensure, picture like your 300 Spartans. I'm looking for only 100 solid Spartans that can help grow and push their businesses to 6 figures, and you'll personally get me as a mentor. And a little bit about me, if you don't already know by now, I've been mentored by this awesome guy named Kevin King. He's one of the titans in the industry. I had the opportunity to learn from him for a couple of weeks in person years ago when I first started, and taking all that knowledge. Knowledge is really interesting in the fact that people go, for example, to college, and while they're in college, they'll spend thousands of dollars a semester to perhaps do something they don't necessarily like to do. And if you can take a small investment now and actually learn how to make money, you can see how this type of skill set will allow you to now live life on your terms. When you know how to make money yourself, and you're not relying, on other people to pay your salary, you're now in a position of power. And when you're in a position of power, you have more control over your life, and ultimately, your happiness goes up. When you're more in control of every aspect that goes in on your life, especially financially, you can't control everything, but if you can control most of the things, especially like I said, financially, you'll live a much happier life. There's even some research studies out of Harvard that show, when you're in control and once you make a certain dollar amount, your happiness actually goes up. I might get a lot of push on that comment, but you can look this comment up. See, in the last 18 months, I've been able to do over $300,000, and this year I plan on closing at $500,000. I still have a lot more goals. There's a lot of other things I'm doing to eventually get to that 7-figure club, but you can join me on my journey, and we can share the journey to get you to 6 figures as well. And again, it's not for complete newbies. You can't be completely new. You need to have some understanding of how Amazon works. But we go over some awesome content. I go over Facebook ads and chat bots. I go over to exploding reviews, getting ranked on Amazon quickly, and maintaining your rank. So this is pretty awesome. Go ahead and check it out. I do have a link below. I have it open only again to 100 students. So if you want to get in, now it's a minimal investment, and you can also get payment plans with it as well. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my content. If you want more videos like this, please leave me a comment below. That way I know you're engaged, and usually I reply to every single comment I get. So if you have any questions about what we just went over, I'm here. You guys are not alone on your Amazon journey, right? You'll learn directly from a 6-figure seller. And thank you so much again for watching my video. You guys have a great day.